reading from Dark Valley. I'm going to read this as serialisation over the next couple of 3 weeks, couple of months. Available on Kindle and also available in paperback from Amazon. Before we start, I do have to say that there are some really adult themes in this book, and some of it is a little bit disturbing, so if you're not into that sort of stuff, I think that you're probably best off finding some other content to watch on YouTube. There are a few videos on there, so it should be alright. Okay, let's get into it. Dark Valley by Steve Wash. If his story is a confession, then so is mine. Acknowledgements. I would like to thank my family for their support, without which I would not have been able to write this book. I would also like to thank Carl, Ben and my dad Jim for proofreading and giving feedback where necessary and really helping to shape the book. But of everyone, I'd like to thank my wife Jo. She believed in me and had faith in me when it really mattered. Chapter 1. In fact, no. Before we get into the chapter, I'm going to quickly explain the way that it's presented. It's written in what's known as a Gothic style. Doesn't mean that you have to listen to Sisters of Mercy when you're reading it, although to be fair, that's what I listened to quite a lot while I was writing it. What it means is it's written from a series of first person perspectives. So the narrative isn't like a simple once upon a time narrative which is written from a third person narrative. So anyway, let's get in amongst it. Some people have said that it's a little difficult to follow because of the Gothic style of writing, but I was very keen to write in this style. It's a style that we had looked at uni and really interested me. Chapter 1. From a 28-year-old heroin addict. I wake into greyness. The cheap, dreary bedsit is devoid of colour, life or love. Out of the uncurtained window, the grey of evening is starting to fall like a curtain. The monochrome drab invades the room, stealing in through the window, sliding in and pooling in the corners of the room with a gathering intensity. The heavy, low, slate grey clouds scud overhead on the brisk autumn breeze. Seaside towns have a way of losing their colour, their soul, when the tourists go home in September. Just the natives left with their grey existence, waiting for the spring and the tourists to return with some kind of vitality to breathe into the town. My bones ache. It is cold. I am ill from the withdrawal from gear. It is so painful. It is overriding all. It overrides hunger, overrides thirst, emotion and all things. The shudders of withdrawal well up inside me and I break out in shivers. He sleeps just under a filthy sheet on the piss-stained bare mattress. He is skeletal now, just bones, such a long way from the powerful and muscled man he was. I'm not sure if I can see that man, the one I loved so much, in there now. I know I have to get a move on. I need only be on the street. I need to be out on the street earning, grafting, call it what you want. Making my way naked in front of the mirror, I look down at myself in the fading light of the one-room bedsit we call home. Someone will be desperate enough to pay for my body tonight. It doesn't matter who. Their money is all the same. They are all the same. Another punter, another nameless number in and out. The times are beyond count now. It doesn't matter to me. I must score heroin. I am struggling, rattling. The violet bruises that are pinned upon my ribs are angry and harsh. I don't want to wake him up. They are an angry flower, nourished by my pain and blooming on my body. The punters won't even see them because I'll be in the back of the car, over a bin, in an alleyway. They won't take my top off. They'll never see the bruise. It hurts to breathe. My makeup has got cold in the room and it's difficult to squeeze the foundation out of the tube, but I have to cover the swollen and angry injection sites. Running my hand over them on my forearms, I feel the rough, sore, broken areas. They have to be covered. No one need see them. Who would want to pay to fuck a junkie whore? Gazing into the mirror, my ribs are now visible all over my chest. They are visible through the flat skin pouches that are my tits now. Looking further down, I cover the sore on my groin with foundation. The broken needle has been the root of infection for ages, maybe 3 months. It smells. Even over the dirty, stale stench of the bedsit, there is the odour of this septic wound. A quick wipe around my cunt with a baby wipe and over the abscess will keep the smell away from the punters. Most will only want a blowjob anyway, I hope. I hope I don't have to let them fuck me. Later on in the evening, the takeaways and restaurants will be closed and the waiters and cooks will be looking around for something. I hope I am done by then. They always want to fuck. I hope I have enough money to score. Just enough to keep us going till tomorrow, that's all. Just get through one day at a time. Turning to look around at the room before I set out in the evening, I take in the scene. He still lays asleep on the sheetless mattress on the floor and under the piss and blood-stained duvet. I will leave the mobile phone on the floor beside him. He says I should take it with me so I can call him if I run into bother. And he can protect me. I don't think so. More like he can call me, and if I haven't had enough punters and don't have enough money for heroin or crack, he can give me another pasting. The bruise on my ribs is a constant reminder of the type of protection that he will give me. The yellow sharps box lays on the dirty, soiled floor with pins spilling from it amongst beer cans and cider bottles. I will escape this, but for now I need to get on the streets. I'm rattling and I need gear. The addiction is biting hard. The wind was blowing hard from the west and the seafront at East Parade was fully exposed to the icy autumnal blast. Just too cold to work on this street. Maybe if I just popped round the corner onto Conway Street I'll be able to get a bit warmer. I know this is another girl's patch, but I need to be a bit warmer. It's quiet now. The tourists have gone back to Manchester, Liverpool, Salford or wherever they came from. When they were here there were always more punters, more young lads with a few quid in their pocket. I like the young lads better. They are clean and quick and they pay their money. A few cars came down the front. I'm watching them for signs of any that might be looking for business. Other girls walk up and down the street looking for trade, all, like me, all rattling wrecks. They drive past, not hesitating, not stopping. The gnawing withdrawal becomes unbearable. I only need one punter, just a tenner bag to keep me going, that's all. Desperation is starting to grow inside me. The post office splashes an oasis of light onto the pavement ahead of me. The door opens and a young lad comes out. He jumps on his too small bike and cycles off into the darkness, wrapped against the cold and dark. Absently I watch the post office. There is money in the till. There are things on the shelves worth getting and selling. Is it worth one more go? One more chance to try and grab the deodorant and run out? Every shop in the town knows me. I'm on the shop watch top 5 lifters and posters. No, I will look for a punter. A quick suck in an alleyway and I'll get gear. The pain can be stopped. I anticipate how that relief will feel. But now, as I have idly mulled these ideas over in my head, I have got near the door of the shop. Absorbed in my withdrawal and aches, I'm a little surprised when the door opens and some old woman steps out in front of me. She looks funny. She's not as tall as me and hunched over a silver metal walking frame. She is wrapped against the cold and the elements in a big, grey, woolly hat. She has a big, thick woolen coat on that covers her from chin to knee in a brown and orange cocoon. It looks funny to me, like a tortoise's shell. Her twig thin legs wrapped in thick grey tights and little black shoes. I can't see how old she is, sort of ageless. Somewhere between 70 and 100 years old. As I look away, I see her stuffing something into her coat pocket, her gnarled and arthritic hand struggling. shaking to put some paper in there. The crinkled brown coloured paper catches my eye. It is money. She slowly walks from the shop towards Conway Street, her frame placed in front of her, and tiny, painful steps take her forward to it, before placing it forward again. She then turns down the alleyway behind the terrace, out of the light, and into the dark, off the street. The chance is there, in front of me. I can almost savour the relief of the heroin coursing through my veins, destroying the gnawing pain as I walk closer behind her. I move closer and closer to her. I am just inches behind her. I can smell her perfume. The strong lavender and violet, like the sweets I had as a girl, mingled with her ancient piss and dust. I can hear her old and troubled, wheezy breathing. The sweet relief of the tenner bag has hit its spot, but I know it is only temporary. Soon I'll be rattling again. I know the relief from the gnaw is temporary and short-lived. I need to keep working and get another couple of punters, enough for us both tomorrow. I can work tomorrow and we will be okay. Since coming back from the toilets on the prom, where I cooked up the heroin, shot up and washed the blood from my hands, I have felt cold all the way through. At least the pain from the withdrawal rattle has gone now, and I can focus on working. The cars keep flowing, all the same speed. Walking up and down the same patch, I see an old Land Rover or Jeep come past. I think I've seen it before tonight. Might be a punter on the circuit. I edge towards the curb and under the light of the street lamp again. Another girl has seen him on the circuit. She moves into a street light. She wants him. I hope he passes her and stops with me. I need the money. My habit is very bad at the moment. Yes. The same car comes past again. It is an old Land Rover. Some old farmer from the hills, tired of shagging sheep. This will be money for nothing, I think. The Land Rover pulls up and from inside a voice comes from the darkness. Looking for business? I still feel that little sideways lurch in my tummy. It's not excitement, I'm scared. I need the gear. By tomorrow night I'll be rattling. He will withdraw, he'll get angry and he'll hit me again. Maybe next time it'll be worse. Yeah, baby, what have you got in mind? I try to sound sexy. My voice shakes with the cold. Don't be scared, the unseen man says to me slowly, calmly. How much for a blowjob? Telling me not to be scared was unusual and momentarily puts me on edge. But we can get into that comfortable business transaction that I've made time and again with the same different men so many times. There is reassurance in the familiarity. Just 20, sweetheart. Reassuring, pattern, routine, established. And that's without a Johnny. Okay, love, do you know anywhere we can go? I've not done this before. He sounds well spoken, quiet and confident. I still can't see him. They all say it's their first time. Sometimes they forget that it's me that sucked their cock just a week before. The back of the Land Rover is dark with just a tarpaulin and some tools. That tarpaulin might be mucky, but it would be more comfortable than some dirty alleyway or over a wheelie bin. Yeah, sure, I know a place. Somewhere we can go and you can do what you want. I jumped in the passenger seat and my eyes steadily adjust to the gloom of the inside of the Land Rover. It's not quite as dirty as I first thought. It smells clean, smells like bleach. This must be a really house-proud sheep shagger. For the first time I look at my punter. He isn't what I expected. A good-looking guy. He's pretty tall. Short and smart grey hair, tanned and clean shaved. He had that almost leathery look of a bloke used to being outside. He had the cleanest overalls on I'd ever seen. I wonder why this guy is looking for action from me. I don't care. I need the money in my hand. I need the gear. It's all about keeping the beast of my addiction at bay. He drives the truck back to the industrial estate, just on the edge of the town. His hands move like fluid over the gear stick, smooth, oiled and polished. There are no other cars in the car park as we pull in. We pull into the corner. He hasn't said another word to me since we got in the car. He's probably nervous. After all, he said it was his first time for this. Well, it certainly isn't mine. I'll put his mind at ease. Can we go in the back? It's warm in there. For sure, he says. If it makes you feel more comfortable, it is warm in the back there too. We walk round the back of the car and I glance round the car park. There is a normal industrial waste of a few old tyres and oil cans. In the corner of the car park is a burned out shell of a car, half hidden in shadow and a long way from the feeble street lights. It is quite a high step as I try and get back to the vehicle. It's quite a high step as I try and get in the back of the vehicle. He gives me a hand by putting his hand on my arse and pushing me. I can feel the sure confidence of the strength in his hand as he guides me up. His powerful hand strays to the crack of my arse and I feel him over my arsehole, through my jeans. I hope he wants that. It'll be extra money. I take it once in the arse from him and it's next day's gear all sorted. In the back there is something else in the shadow. It is something dark and unseen. A blacker, deeper part of the shadow detaches and closes on me. He is behind me. The shapeless shadow bears down upon me. I am transfixed by this shadow, struck in terror and rooted to the spot. My breath catches in my chest and a wave of utter fear and abandon washes over me. I feel a scratch on my back, but the fear is so overwhelming I cannot respond or react. The shape closes on me and pushes me down onto the sheet. The sheet feels smooth and shiny as I am held there, and I am waiting them as the microseconds drag by and turn into day-long seconds. Any moment the crushing impact will come, but it doesn't. I feel that I'm relaxing. My body welcomes the opiate embrace, enveloping it and surrounding my senses. I know this feeling. I've been here so many times before, and reassuringly I sink out of consciousness. The voices I now hear seem so far away. I can hear them, but they are disjointed, like the voices of lost souls. Is she out? Another second or so and she will be. Okay, put the ties on and we can get going, said the other voice, the voice that came from the shadow. Thank you very much. We'll do a little bit more tomorrow, or maybe the day after. Keep watching. Like I say, this is available on Kindle and is also available on Amazon. Thank you very much. Bye bye.